Hey, y'all. Um, this is gonna be a little different video. This is a different video. I am showing a different side of myself that I have not. And I've been really nervous about doing it, but because we are in a new month, right? I am going to just take the plunge. So you all know me as a clinical herbalist, and you know I specialize in the intersection between immunology and chronic illness in the African American community. I also have a passion for emotional healing. And so that is why I have things like the Yes process, which is a signature system that I teach on that helps you say yes to God, to your assignment, to your gift, your talent, your ability on an everyday basis through everyday challenges. Um, so another part of me that I'm going to share with you is that I'm also known as the Infusion Queen. I'm also known as the Infusion Queen. And it took me a lot to embrace that and to announce that just because, um, and we're going to talk about all of this, right? Just because of the negative stigma that comes with cannabis. Um, I am a devout Christian. I am a Christ follower. I am a clear conduit. I am his conduit of healing. And I do believe that everything that I do is definitely led by him. Every step I take is led by God, right? So it was um a turd, back and forth when it came to announcing that, hey, I am the Infusion Queen. I specialize in making cannabis. I have customers who I deal with chronic illness customers and clients, right? And so cannabis is really good for pain and inflammation. It's really good for cancer patients who don't have an appetite. It's really good for stress and anxiety. It's really good for a lot of different things. But of course, there's a negative stigmatism that is attached to it. And so I just want to put this first video out there so that it kind of breaks the ice, because we're going to be getting into a lot of different things that I've been wanting to talk about, but have been nervous to do so. But it's so important and it's so imperative because in the days and times that we're living in, we got to look at things at face value. We need to know the history of some things, and there's history with cannabis, right? Um, and I'm not promoting cannabis, just to be promoting cannabis. Cannabis has a lot of health benefits. Um, and it has saved some lives. It has helped people in ways that you couldn't even imagine. And it's such a blessing to be able to have alternative medicine for those who need something else, right? Whether you're in chronic pain, I mean chronic pain, and you're dealing with a lot of inflammation, that affects your mental health. It really does. And so cannabis is just a option. Yes, there are other options. But cannabis is one option that is available. I specialize in microdosing. I create my own bases like butter, oil, honey, tincture, sugar. I create my bases. I create um, my own products, right? Whatever it is, capsules. Um, Limited, I can infuse anything, any type of foods. I teach people how to infuse their own food. I teach people how to make their own can of oil and can of butter and can of honey. Um, because it's so important, right? It's so important to be able to do these things yourself because it is kind of dangerous to just be out here buying it from other people because you never know what it's laced with, what's in it, and all of that. And so, this is one way that you can do it in a safe way is with me, right? Because this is what I do. I have healing parties that I'm going to be starting back up really soon, where we come together and we talk about the emotional part of healing. And it's not just physical, right? A lot of people, especially Black women, have dealt with a lot of trauma have dealt with from birth. Like there's a lot of things that we deal with: suppressed emotion, rage, frustration, overwhelm, stress, anxiety. And so our bodies are always in hyper mode, hyper independence, hyper vigilant, afraid for our children. And so I get us together in a safe space where we can relax and unwind, and we can talk about the heavy things that are bothering us in a safe atmosphere, safe to release. So they can help strengthen us. And as we leave and go about our days and our weeks, we are better equipped to handle what's coming and what is and what's going on, right? So, this is just an introduction into a different side of me. I am the infusion queen. I infuse everything, right? I have the ability to infuse everything. Um, Before I became a clinical herbalist, the first herb that I played with was cannabis, right? And I actually um, started using cannabis after a horrific car accident that I had. I was 36 weeks pregnant. My baby made it. My baby made it. She is 8 now. She is our miracle baby because the doctors didn't think that she was going to make it, and they didn't think I was going to make it. I was pretty banged up, pretty bad. We got in an accident on one day. I woke up another day, right? So it was a lot, and it took me a lot to be able to get to where I am now. They say you're gonna be on disability, you're not gonna be able to work again. You know, they spoke a lot of negative things over my life, and I refused to accept it. I refuse to accept it, and I'm not gonna talk about that too much because it's still emotional for me. But um, when I was released from the hospital, finally released from the hospital, they sent me home with all of this medicine, right? All of this medicine. A lot of it was pain medicine. And so, but I have a newborn baby. How in the world am I going to take care of a newborn baby? But I'm taking all of this medicine. I'm talking, when I was in the hospital, they had me on what was it, morphine and Dilaudid. And they sent me home with oxys and Percocets and all of these high name powered medicines. And I can't do this and be there for my baby because my husband works a night shift. So I can't be dead sleep to the world at night. I got to be able to, take care of my baby when she wakes up and cries and needs something. And so, for me, it was just safer and better for me to use cannabis, right? Because I just needed something for the pain. And what people don't understand is if you're dealing with chronic pain, it's one of the reasons why I love what I do because I understand what it means to be in chronic pain. I mean, pain day in and day out, pain that never subsides, pain that doesn't go anywhere. Like it's just always there. It becomes a part of who you are. Right. I suffered for a while because I refused to take all the medicine. Um, but when I was able to, you know, it, get the cannabis and use it, it helped with the pain. When your body is always in pain, the THC ain't gonna get up here. It don't even have time to get up there because it's trying to calm your body down, right? And so I think it's a lot there that people don't understand when it comes to cannabis. People demonize what they can't discern, right? You don't know what it is. You just see the effects of it, and some people abuse it. Absolutely, right? People abuse everything. They abuse food, right? People abuse. You can abuse anything. So of course you can abuse cannabis, and of course you got people who are addicted. And that's a whole nother story because yes, you can be addicted to weed. Absolutely. Um, and that's where the emotional part comes in at, right? And so that's why I educate people on cannabis and the use of cannabis because it's not a cut and dry, it's not a black and white type of thing. It helped save my life. And I can tell you that now because I would be sitting here, right? I was always in the bed. I had my baby, but I was in pain from the top of my head to the bottom of my feet. I was in pain for a very, very long time. And so Cannabis was able to help the inflammation in my body. It was able to help the pain in my body. It was able to help me. I couldn't walk from my door to the mailbox, y'all. Like, it took me a very long time to be able to walk and to move and to just do normal things that I was used to, but I couldn't do them anymore for a long time. And so I refused to take the medicine that they gave me, used cannabis, and started my healing process from there. Okay. So cannabis was the first herb that I used. Um, and of course, you start out smoking it. Then, but I have asthma, so I was like, I don't want to keep doing this. Right? I want to keep doing this. And so I found out different ways to use it. And so I found out how to decarb it because I had no idea. I had no idea about any of it. I found out how to decarb it and how much you're supposed to use. And I started making the can of butter. Of course, 'cause that's the first thing that people usually make is the can of butter. Um, and it was strong. Lord, I had to work on that dosing, y'all. Woo! I had to work on the dosing. It's been a while. I've been doing this for about 10 years. And so in the beginning, baby, ooh, it was strong. But I had to get used to the dosing. I had to get used to all of it. But I stopped wanting to use butter because we moved, my family's moving to a healthier direction. And so we wasn't eating as much fats and fatty foods, and we had let go of pork. And, it's been a journey for me and my family. And I love where we are now. But it's been a process. And that's why I can help people walk through the process because you can have times where you're so frustrated. Um, this healing process is no joke if you're doing it for real, right? And so I wanted to get off of the butter, so I went to the oil. Oh no, I went to tincture first, and so we was doing the tincture. That tincture is made with alcohol. So eventually, after some time, me and my husband we stopped drinking alcohol. So I was like, well, we can't use a tincture no more, right? Because we stopped drinking alcohol. And so then we switched to oil. And I found that the oil was just, man, I could just use it for everything, right? And then I was like, but what if can I put it in some I drink? Right. And so I started experimenting with other stuff, right? So I started making the can of honey. And then I found out with the tincture you can make the sugar, which I didn't use, but I had clients and customers who wanted it, and so I made it for them. Right. So they could put in their sugar, put in their coffee or whatever they wanted to put it in. And so it's been a journey of, I smoked it, then can of butter, then tincture, then oil, then honey, then. So it's been a journey. And so now, along with the other herbs, because I started studying the other herbs shortly after that, around 2020 is when I started with the other herbs. And it was because my husband was in the medical field, my daughter was young, I have multiple chronic illnesses myself. And so I wanted a way, I knew there was a way to protect my family from that horrible pandemic. And we did just that, right? Everybody was safe. Nobody caught it in my household. And so that's because I was using the elderberry, the turmeric, the ginger, the mullein, the nettle, and every herb I added after that was because somebody was like, "Hey, this is what I need. This is what I'm dealing with." And so I added a herb that was for them. So now we work with over 75 herbs, and cannabis is one of them. Right? I never let go of the cannabis because it helps. It helps. It's like California poppy. I offer that too. Um, it helps, right? It helps. And so I am here and I'm starting this series, this session, these teachings for those who are cannabis users, um, whether it's for recreational purposes or for healing purposes. I'm here to give you the language that you need to be able to defend if that's what you need to do, because we're going to get into the Bible with it. Um, because a herb is an herb. You can't demonize one and not demonize all of them. You can't do that. Yes, we're going to address the addiction part of it. Yes, we're going to address the abuse of it. We're definitely going to do that because that's something that's needful and necessary, right? But with the understanding that you can abuse anything, anything in excess is abuse. I don't care if it's food, I don't care if it's work, I don't care what it is. You can abuse it. And so we're gonna get into all of that. We're gonna get into all of that. I'm about to release a digital product on how to make your own bases, your can of oil, your can of butter, your can of honey, all of that. So if you're interested in that, definitely keep in touch. And I'm about to start my healing sessions back to where we get a group of Black women together. And this is, we all have one common thing. This is what we use. This is what we do. So we get together, I infuse a meal or, whatever we're going to infuse, whether it's fruit, salad, um, I'm staying away from meat like that. I know how to infuse lasagna and spaghetti and taco meat. We used to have a ball, y'all. But it's gonna be lighter these days. We're gonna have a vegan option. And so it's gonna be absolutely amazing. So if you are a Black woman in the Louisville, Kentucky area, definitely stay in touch because we're gonna be having IQ healing sessions coming back real soon. And so we'll be teaching on different stuff. So if you have questions, definitely let me know. Um, and I'm going to step into this other side of myself and share some information that I have. Okay. So again, if you have any questions, any concerns, definitely hit me up. Keep in contact. If you want to be involved in the IQ healing sessions, if you're a Black woman in Louisville, Kentucky, or if you want to learn how to make your own can of creations, definitely keep in touch. I'll be dropping the how-to digital product very soon. I'm going to be developing a community where all of these videos will eventually be in a private community. Um, and this will be what we do, right? A safe place to be able to get the knowledge and the education that we need about the plant that we love, right? All right, so that is it, and I will be back with a new video soon. Bye.